was talking to some of our analysts this morning, actually, and one of them was telling me that there's been a big uptick in calls from our clients asking about confiscation, largely due in part to concerns around gold being recognized as legal money, right? State by state, there are more states that are kind of pushing this through or pursuing some kind of gold and silver act that will allow gold and silver to be used as legal tender in daily purchases. What does that mean for confiscation, or what do we think that that might imply as far as what's coming next?
Gold Rush Hour 20.
Yes.
Here we go.
All right.
All right. So what do we got? What's going on? What's fresh lately? What have you been hearing?
Well,
what do the people want?
The big thing that happened this week is on Monday, the Federal Reserve came out and officially is ending QT, quantitative tightening. They said, we're done. So I think a lot of people have been asking, what does that actually mean? Is that the same as QE starting back up? What does that mean for me, right? Like a lot of questions around this idea, which I think is a great place to start because it obviously impacts all of us.
What do you think if we change, just for the Gold Rush Hour, we change the name of the Federal Reserve to Son of a Bitch? Or we could just shorten it to SOBs.
SOBs.
Not the Fed, SOBs.
The SOBs came out and said that they are ending QT.
Okay, well, what do you think about that?
Well, I think absolutely. Nothing is coincidence. Nothing just happens, right? There's obviously a plan in place. And I think for me, it's clear that we are going to be issuing more and more debt. We need buyers, and the Fed absolutely is going to be stepping in and filling that gap. How far they're going to take it, I don't know, but this is obviously just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. I think that the next couple of months, the next year, things are only going to keep accelerating. And this is truly just the beginning, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, the flip side of quantitative tightening is quantitative easing, right?
Yeah.
So the pendulum now just swings from one side to the other. So it could be just the start to, okay, quantitative tightening is ending, neutral, quantitative easing. Right. And then eventually it'll flip the other way, because they got to pull their levers the way that they can, which is printing money and interest rates for the most part.
With this, and then with rate cuts, I mean, I think another question I keep seeing is, what does that mean for me? What does that mean for inflation? Obviously, inflation never stopped, right? It might have slowed how quickly it was going up. We'll never get what we lost, but absolutely, I expect inflation to accelerate more and more and more as a result of this too. I don't see how it wouldn't.
I mean, if we have seen inflation during quantitative tightening, what do you think inflation will do in our quantitative easing?
It's going to rip. It's going to rip. I think prices are going to be sky high, which is scary because there's already such a bad affordability crisis in the U.S. People can't even afford to buy groceries.
What do you think the average cost of a pizza is now? I just read this stat this morning.
$18.
You almost nailed it. $17 is the average cost.
That's well, because I was just thinking, I do indulge sometimes in a frozen DiGiorno, which used to be like a cheap grocery night, right? Like you could get a frozen DiGiorno on sale for $3.50, and this was just like a couple of years ago, right? And now I go and I look and I see $9.
$9?
Yes, and I'm thinking to myself, wait,
for a DiGiorno?
For a DiGiorno, yeah. And then even
sucks.
Domino's has gone up. Domino's has actually kind of remained somewhat cheap, but then you go to anywhere where you're going to sit down and order a pizza and forget it.
Yeah.
It's crazy too, because you think about these foods that a lot of families rely on to feed their children, to feed their family, to help supplement other meals too. And it's like, at the end of the day, frozen pizza's $9. How are you going to get by?
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I went to go to this local Mexican food restaurant that I love their burritos.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know, it's not even that big. It's probably like, the burrito's probably like this big, right?
Okay.
And it's got beans and rice, some carnitas, some pico de gallo, and now it's $14. And I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's not like they have a choice. It's just where it's forced price increases. So
100%.
Quantitative tightening ending, quantitative easing coming, it's only going to make things, it's only going to accelerate what you just said. Like inflation's going to accelerate.
I don't blame restaurants. I don't blame grocery stores. I don't blame, right? Like restaurants, I know their margins are often already so razor thin, right? That's why you see so many mom and pop restaurants going out of business right and left too. They can't get by without raising their prices, but then, people can't afford it, right? And they're trying to do right by their patrons. But yeah, the people we should blame are the SOBs.
The SOBs.
That's who we need to blame.
100%.
Yeah. More people have asked too, okay, with this move, this kind of like new chapter that we're going into, ending QT, neutral, into QE, what does that mean for gold?
It's the simplest thing, and you and I have talked about this many times, is if the government continues to print money long term, gold will continue to rise. You've seen it over the last, gosh, we're almost going on a 30-year run now, from $252 an ounce to $42.13 as of this morning, and think of how much the debt was, right? Which equals, like, that shows you the money printing from that period of time to now. It's dramatic, and that's we're only accelerating. It's only going higher.
I don't think people have even wrapped their minds around or are prepared, honestly, for what's coming next, in my opinion, based on everything we're seeing. Again, this is really just the beginning, and it's only going to accelerate, in my opinion.
Yes, and I will say this, like, I own a gold company.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't feel like I have enough for what's coming.
Yeah.
You got to get it. If you don't have it, get it. I'm assuming that most of the people who listen to us already have it, which is great.
Now, another question that I've seen a lot recently is, what type of gold should I be getting?
I personally, for gold, I buy pre-1933 gold coins, graded. They give me the best opportunity for upside potential with premiums that will rise. Like, premiums are all-time lows right now. There's a lot of opportunity for premium growth, and they've been protected from confiscation in the past. They're totally private. Like, there's, it's like we were talking about Italy this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And like how they are saying, like, declare your gold to us, like, under the guise of this, like, you'll get taxed less if you tell us how much gold you have now, right? The type of gold they're talking about is bullion.
Yeah.
Right? They're not talking about collectible pre-1933 gold. Another reason to own it. So that's the type of gold. And then and I use silver. Silver is function to me as barter, right? I want to barter with silver, and I want to use gold for wealth preservation and wealth growth during everything that's coming.
I was talking to some of our analysts this morning, actually, and one of them was telling me that there's been a big uptick in calls from our clients asking about confiscation, largely due in part to concerns around gold being recognized as legal money, right? State by state. There are more states that are kind of pushing this through or pursuing some kind of gold and silver act that will allow gold and silver to be used as legal tender in daily purchases. What does that mean for confiscation, or what do we think that might imply as far as what's coming next? That's something that a lot of people have been asking.
I think under a central bank digital currency, there will be one. In regards to the states declaring it as legal tender, the one thing that I do think is that if the Fed, the SOBs, if they don't want that to actually be a way to escape the system, right? To be able to, the states utilize gold and silver as legal tender, then the best way to prevent that would be to do a confiscation nationwide, because then it doesn't matter what the state said, right? It doesn't matter if your state said, oh, it's legal tender, because the federal government can then just do a confiscation and wipe all that benefit away. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So another reason why to be skeptical, for sure. And that's another reason why I own the pre-1933 stuff, because it's been exempted from confiscation in the past. And because of eminent domain laws and other factors, I think will also be exempted.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
No, I completely agree. I think it's interesting too, because there is a big push. Like I have been following, I follow what's his name, JP from the Sound Money League, Defense League, and he is always on X putting out all these different things that are going on, kind of this push that it should be considered legal tender, but it is interesting because I always see in the comments that kind of concern. Well, like if that happens, does it mean that confiscation is more likely? But again, a lot of times it's referring to bullion holdings. So absolutely something to be keeping an eye on as things move. I mean, really the big thing for me is there's no doubt that every day I go online, I see more and more and more about gold. It's crazy to me because it still feels like the masses, it hasn't caught up even close to where we're going, but it feels like it's not so niche, even in the last like 2 years, right? There's so much more now being talked about it, whether it's, all the central bank buying, which by the way, too, I've had some people ask, hey, well, as, spot price of gold continues to rise, do you think you're going to see central banks slowing? I just saw World Gold Council came out yesterday and said month over month, the most recent month they had was October, gold buying by central banks was up 34%.
Yeah, the
34%.
central banks don't care
No.
what the price is.
No, because they know where it's going,
right.
too.
And they know that they just want to hold the asset. And that's what everybody's mentality should be.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the price is. You just have to own it.
Totally. Yeah. It's going to be so much harder to own it later on, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
The more money they print, the more expensive gold's going to get.
Oh, yeah. And I, again, think we are just at the beginning of, I don't know. I think things are about to get real crazy, personally. Like, I don't know. All the pieces are in play. And again, with this Fed pivot, too, I think it's just the beginning. We still have, the Fed, the SOPs, they still have a balance sheet of, I think, an additional, they're up, 3 or 4 trillion from where they were in 2020. I think they were able to roll off maybe 2 trillion over the last few years. It's not even like they were able to even the scales and now they're pivoting again, right? They've gone beyond. There's no coming back, in my opinion. It's a desperate move. It's going to hurt a lot of people. Well, on a fun note, I was just talking about this a little bit earlier, but I am very excited. I have a metal detector that I got as a Christmas present 3 years ago, and just as a hobby for fun, have looked for different kinds of stuff. I've never really found anything more than pennies and bottle caps and maybe some junk jewelry that was not worth anything, cost me more to pay for parking and go out and about. But I am going to go up this next weekend and do a couple hours of metal detecting with a guide and some gold prospecting, which I used to do a lot in Oregon with my uncle. I lived right on a creek and we'd find little flakes.
That's
and
cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Well, take some pictures and some videos while you do it, and then we can post it up.
Put them up.
Like
yeah.
during the next gold rush hour, we can show a little.
If anyone's interested in that, it's like, again, it's like just like a fun hobby. It's something, like I said, I grew up with my uncle doing the, panning for gold in Oregon was always a big deal, and we used to do it in school too, growing up there. And now that I'm in Arizona, I'd love to kind of check out the new scenery and yeah.
Well, and it's perfect weather for it too.
Oh, it's so nice, so nice. Yeah.
Well, that'll be cool. We got to report back with some pictures and stuff.
I definitely will. Maybe Edgar and I will go up at another date too, and even bring the camera and record some stuff up there. What about you? Any big plans for the weekend? Oh, this weekend.
Yeah, it's our 30th anniversary
party.
Which is always, that's so fun for me.
So
it's
fun.
like, our time to give back to the team and be in gratitude for everybody and the difference that everybody makes. It's a pretty awesome time. So I look forward to it every year.
I can't wait. I'm very, very excited.
Well, cool. I guess it's coffee time.
I think it is.
That's a wrap.
Let's do it.
All right.